ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the best sports show in Kansas City. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio, where sports come alive. Join your hosts, the awesome voice, and Coach 24 as they dive into the latest sports news, analysis, and excitement. From the biggest games to the most thrilling moments, they've got it all covered. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an hour of unbeatable sports action. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Weekend Eve. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW. I am Brian Kress, the awesome voice, and Coach 24, Darwin Penny, my brother with another mother, is missing in action again. He had something else that he had to take care of tonight, so he could not make it here. So I will be running the show, but behind the scenes and running the show and giving his 2 cents worth every once in a while, Mr. DJ Scatter, Mr. George Walker. How are you doing this evening, Mr. Walker?
Hey, it was a good day today, and I am doing just fine.
That is awesome. And it is a good day to be a Chiefs fan, and it's even a good day to be a Royals fan. And here is why. Because they're doing all the awards now. The season is over. The Dodgers beat the Yankees in a gentleman series sweep over, the Dodgers over the Yankees, which I'm still happy about. But saying this, Bobby Witt Jr. won a Gold Glove. He was the leading hitter in all of baseball. And Seth Lugo also won a Gold Glove for as a pitcher. So we had a couple of Gold Gloves. Now we are doing what is called the Silver Slugger. And what is the Silver Slugger? It is a trophy given to the best offensive player in each position in each league. Actually, the American League, they call it the Rod Carew bat, named after Rod Carew, who won, I believe it was 6 batting titles. And in the National League, my man Tony Gwynn, who I still consider is the greatest hitter of all time. You can argue with me all day long. I'm gonna win it. But anyway, he has 8 batting crowns, which is more than anybody else with the exception of Ty Cobb, but that was over 100 years ago, so we're not going to worry about that. So to go with this, I'm going to list all the players that won the Silver Slugger from each position, and we're going to start with first base. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. From the Toronto Blue Jays won his 2nd award at first base. And for the National League, it was Bryce Harper of the Phillies, and it's his 4th win as a Silver Slugger. And so second base, we have Jose Altuve from the Houston Astros, and that's his 7th Silver Slugger. And it is 2 more than any player in Houston Astros history, and is tied with Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg for the most for a second baseman. And obviously, Jose Altuve has been the face of Houston Astros baseball for the last decade. So so congratulations to him. And the National League winner at second base is Ketel Marte of the Diamondbacks, and that is his first Silver Slugger. So he had a great year. Now, shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals. It is his first one. Witt's 2024 season was full of historic firsts en route to his first Silver Slugger. With his MLB best 332 average, he claimed the first batting title by a Royal since George Brett in 1990. Witt had 32 home runs, 31 stolen bases to become the first shortstop in Major League Baseball history with multiple 30-30 campaigns. That's 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases. And if that's not enough, he also became the first player to go 30-30 while adding at least 40 doubles and 10 triples in a single season. And I will even go one step further. He is tied with Alex Rodriguez as the only shortstops to win a batting title, a Silver Slugger, and a Gold Glove award. And Bobby Witt Jr. did it all in 1 year, whereas Alex Rodriguez did it in multiple years. And I'm saying multiple years as separate years. He did not win all three at the same time. So Bobby Witt Jr. is the first shortstop ever to win a Silver Slugger, a MLB batting title, leading the league in batting average, and a Gold Glove. So Bobby Witt, who is only 24 years old, is just totally killing it. And I am so happy that the Kansas City Royals have him. Now, saying this, the shortstop for the National League is Francisco Lindor of the Mets, who won his fourth one. And I'm going to tell you what, he had a phenomenal season. He, here's the thing. He had a 193 batting average, a 268 slugging or on base percentage, and a 348 slugging percentage. But from then on, he ended up hitting 26 home runs, and I believe he batted like 273 and had a 943 OPS. In fact, his defense was even better than his offense, and I feel that if anybody wins the MVP of the National League, it should not be Shohei Ohtani. It should be Francisco Lindor, because of the fact that Lindor played in the field and he bat. All Ohtani did was just step up the bat. He couldn't play first base. He couldn't play anywhere else but designated hitter. And if he was in the National League, he wouldn't be able, or I should say, had a couple of years ago, they hadn't changed the rule of the designated hitter. He would only be a pitch hitter because he wouldn't be able to play. And I seriously doubt they would have put him at first base and risked the chance of him hurting his arm after having Tommy John surgery. So that is my opinion. That is my little rant. So anyway, so for third base, Jose Ramirez from the Cleveland Guardians won his fifth, and it says the Guardians' 162nd regular season game was canceled due to rain, washing out Ramirez's chance to join a rare 40-40-40 club, that is hitting 40 home runs, 40 doubles, and 40 steals. He had 39 doubles, 39 home runs, and 41 steals. Alfonso Soriano is the only player who has ever done that, and he had a chance to do it, but the rain killed it, so he will have to try it again next year. But I could see Bobby Witt Jr. doing this. He already did 30-30, so I can see him doing that. The winner of the National League was Manny Machado from the San Diego Padres. It is his second win. And then you have the outfielders. For the American League, you had Aaron Judge, which is his fourth win for the New York Yankees. Obviously, he had a great production year, hit a lot of home runs, and will probably win the MVP over Bobby Witt Jr., though I feel that Bobby Witt Jr. Should win it because he was more of a valuable player than Aaron Judge, because Aaron Judge was gone for a few weeks in the season, and Bobby Witt Jr. played every game this year, and he was I mean, he was the MVP not only of the American League, but definitely of the Royals. And because of him, that's why the Royals made it through the playoffs, and they are going to even get better and better with him behind there. So another outfielder for the American League is Juan Soto of the New York Yankees. It is his 5th win. And then you have Anthony Santander of the Orioles, which is his 1st win. So congratulations. And then Jackson Merrill of the Padres. Cool. San Diego Padres, another 1st win. And I believe he's the 4th youngest player to win a Slugger Award at 21 years, 164 days at the end of the regular season. Only Fernando Valenzuela, Mike Trout, and Alex Rodriguez were younger. Now, saying that, Fernando Valenzuela, he ended up winning a bat because at the time, of course, the National League would bat. American League didn't, so they only had DHs. So that is why Fernando had it. And he was not only did he have a wicked screwball and was just an awesome pitcher, but he was also just as good as a hitter for the Dodgers. And then Mike Trout and Alex Rodriguez were younger. Another outfielder for the National League was Teoscar Hernandez from the Los Angeles Dodgers. And if you remember him, he was the guy that edged out Bobby Witt Jr. in the home run derby contest at the All-Star break. It is his 3rd win. And then Jurisdiction Profar of the San Diego Padres, another Padres, which is I'm enjoying it big time, and that was his 1st win, winning the Silver Star. Then you have catcher, American League, Salvador Perez of the Royals. It is his 5th win, and with that, he, as a 13-year veteran, he owns 2 more Silver Sluggers than any other player in Royals history, and trails only 4 backstops for the most in his position. Mike Piazza leads it with 10. Ivan Rodriguez with 7, Brian McCann with 6, and Lance Parrish, who had played for the Detroit Tigers, also had 6. And then you had the National League winner, William Contreras of the Brewers, which is his 2nd win. Now you have the designated hitter. You have Brent Rooker of the Athletics, who won his 1st one, and National League winner was Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers. It was his 3rd win, but it's his 1st in the National League. He won his other 2 as the member of the Los Angeles Angels. And I want to call them I don't even want to call them Anaheim. I want to call them the California Angels. But they are the Los Angeles Angels. So he became the first player in Major League history to hit 50 home runs when he hit 54 and steal at least 50 bases, 59 in the same season. Now, saying this, if he does not pitch next year, I would say he has a great shot at being the only player in Major League Baseball history to do 60 and 60. He will not do it, and I'm telling you, he will not do it if he pitches or plays the field, because I don't think I know he's a great ability, he is a great hitter and a great pitcher, but if he's going to do both of them, he is not going to be able to reach that 60-60. Now, definitely I would love to see Bobby Witt Jr., but he would definitely have to hit a lot more home runs. Now, utility, Josh Smith of the Texas Rangers, he won his 1st one. And for the National League, Mookie Betts of the Dodgers, which is his 7th Silver Slugger, which is the most among active players. And he's done most of it playing shortstop. and I think he played shortstop at the beginning of the year, but then he moved to the outfield. So he has done um, he has done 4 Silver Sluggers with the members of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I believe he's only been there for 4 years. So he has won it every single year he has been with the Dodgers, and it's second most in franchise history behind Mike Piazza's 5. And then the offensive teams of the year, and you've got the Silver Slugger Award has been given to the best offensive team in each league, and the winners were obviously the 2 highest paying or payroll teams in Major League Baseball, and they also played in the World Series, and that would be the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers. So we've got that. So congratulations again to Bobby Witt Jr. on his fine performance, and I am looking forward to him winning a lot more. And I'm telling you what, if Coach 24 was here, we could definitely talk more about that. But saying that, the Royals have got a lot going on in the off season, but changing the subject a little bit, the Yankees are going. They have the Steinbrenner spring training stadium that they play in Texas. They will be the home of the Tampa Bay Rays this coming up year, because they obviously on October 9th they had that massive they had a massive hurricane, and I want to say it's Hurricane Marvin, I believe it was. Oh, Milton, not Marvin. So anyway, so the Tampa Bay Rays are going to pay Steinbrenner Field, or the New York Yankees, $15 million, and they are going to play the 2025 season at Steinbrenner Field, the Tampa Bay-based spring training home of their division rival, New York Yankees. So it is located northwest Tampa, down the street from Buccaneers Raymond James Stadium, that seats only 11,000 people, and serves as the home of the Yankees Class A affiliates, the Tampa Tarpons. So, and you're saying, wow, only 11,000? Well, they really don't get a lot of people in Tampa. Once they started making the playoffs and getting closer to the pennant season, which is August and September, well, yeah, they started showing up. But actually, that's going to be great for them, because the stadium that they play in, which is Tropicana Field, is just a mess. And I'm looking at a picture of it right now, and I'm telling you what, they just totally destroyed it. And to be perfectly honest, they need to just destroy that stadium and build a brand new one, because it is horrible. It is horrible inside. It's horrible outside. And I'm telling you what, these people, and I still wonder why sometimes that the Rays even have or Tampa Bay have a team, because Montreal Expos actually had a better fan. I know that Tampa Bay didn't take over for Montreal. It was the Washington Nationals, but still, they were considering other facilities, but Steinbrenner Field was the most major league ready. So that should tell you something, that if it's only 11,000 people and it was major league ready, then you know what I feel. I'm just like, and it's the Yankees, so obviously they, it's great that they are offering it to them. But of course, it comes at a price, and the Yankees will get $15 million for them to do that. So now the Rays will remain in Port Charlotte, Florida for spring training. So they will not practice at that field, and I imagine that the New York Yankees would practice there at Steinbrenner Stadium or Steinbrenner Field, before obviously opening day, which I believe will be on March 27th. So anyway, Rob Manford, says that in a statement, this outcome meets Major League Baseball's goals that Rays fans will get to see their team play next season in their home market and that their players can remain home without disruptions to their family. And that part is important. But other than that, I totally am against this. But saying this, the fiberglass roof that destroyed 18 of the 24 fiberglass parts, it's going to cost $55.7 million to repair for it to be ready for the 2026 season. So, and like I said, they just need to destroy it and build a new one, or either that or just build a new stadium. But the problem is nobody is going to, the ownership of the Rays is going to build a new stadium for them. So, but it does say that, I am wrong. My correction. The franchise has a deal to build a new stadium near Tropicana Field that is set to open in 2028. While other facilities areas were considered for this year, Steinbrenner Field, currently undergoing significant upgrades to its home clubhouse, needed a few modifications to reach Major League standards. So they're still got to fix this up. Now, Sutter Health Park, the Sacramento, California stadium, where the A's, which I believe now it's the Las Vegas A's, because they officially removed the Oakland away from the Athletics, where the Athletics will play for at least 3 years before their planned move from Oakland to Las Vegas has needed substantial renovations to prepare for its 2025 season. So, I'm telling you what. Now, Legends Field, Steinbrenner Field, which opened 28 years ago, 2096, it is named for longtime Yankee owner George Steinbrenner, who ran a shipbuilding company in Tampa and died in his home there in 2010. And one of his sons, Hal Steinbrenner, is the team's managing general partner. So they are, so they're going to turn around and play their games there. We are getting close to the first half of any given Sunday, so I just wanted to give you some NBA news. Greg Popovich, the head coach and general manager of the San Antonio Spurs, on the 2nd of November had a mild stroke, which caused him to be away from the team. The San Antonio Spurs have gone 5-6 and 3-3 without Popovich, so they are actually playing pretty good ball. But he is one of the best coaches of all time. I think he is great, and he has led San Antonio to 5 championship games, or 5 championship with the Spurs. So saying that he is the all-time winningest coach. He has almost 1,400 victories at 1,393, and he has spent 30 plus years with the franchise, including 28 plus years, consecutive seasons as the head coach. And he has had some great teams, and he won titles with David Robinson, and then he won them with David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and they won titles in 1999, 2003, 2005, 2007, and the last one in 2014. His career record is 1,393 and 827 losses. He has also coached the U.S. to a gold medal at the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. So he is a very, very popular coach, and I definitely hope that he will recover fully, but he is expected to start coaching again, but they still do not know when he will coach. He is 75 years old, so I mean, he is not a young pup. And he did take over for Bob Hill in 1996. Who knew that? I did not know that. I still don't know who Bob Hill was, but he did take over Bob Hill. So anyway, the Spurs Popovich is going to hopefully be back. Now, saying that, Victor Wembanyama yesterday scored 50 points for the Spurs in their victory, and I'm telling you what, he is going to be one fantastic player. This is only his second year, and I believe he is 20 years old. I know he's not old enough to purchase beer, at least legally, that is. So, but he had a phenomenal game. But I am looking forward to seeing more games from him and playing well. So we are at halftime on Any Given Sunday on KUAW. We are going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we are going to talk football. And we're going to talk a team called the Chiefs and how they are doing. Are they still undefeated? We will talk about that. So you are listening to Any Given Sunday on KUAW. right, we're back for the second half of Any Given Sunday on KUAW. Brian Kress, the Awesome Voice, DJ Scatter, George Walker, and Coach 24, Darwin Penny, who is not here tonight, but he is here in spirit. So, anyway, so the Chiefs had a game Sunday against the Denver Broncos, and I'm telling you what, the Chiefs have found different ways to win each game this year. And I just think it's amazing because I get a lot of people that tell me, oh, Mahomes is horrible. He doesn't throw for a lot. Look, Patrick does what he needs to do. This team, you don't need to win by 40 points every game, and that's what everybody wants. If you think about it, and I always bring this back up, the 2018 season, we didn't win the Super Bowl. It was won by Tom Brady. And we had played a game in 2018 where we scored 51 points, and it was not enough. In fact, that is the only game in NFL history that a team had scored over 50 points and lost. So, and that was a 54-51 Monday Night Football game against the Los Angeles Rams. And speaking of that, the Chiefs are going to Buffalo this weekend. Chiefs at 9-0 are going to the 8-2 Buffalo Bills. And this game, which is the only game at 3:25. Now, saying this, there is a couple of games that are going to be played at 3 o'clock. But at the 3:25 game, the only game is the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe Atlanta is playing Denver at 3 o'clock at 3:05, and the other one is San Francisco and Seattle, the Seahawks and the 49ers. So, yeah, because Indianapolis and the Jets, yeah, they play at 1 o'clock. So anyway, and this is going to be a key game. Now, saying this, all it is still just one regular season game. But this is going to be the showcase because everybody's going to want to see if Kansas City can continue their undefeated season. If the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Buffalo Bills, they will have a 3-game lead over the Buffalo Bills, and technically it will be 4 games because the fact that they had beaten Buffalo. So that tiebreaker means that Buffalo will have to win 4 more games than the Kansas City Chiefs in order for that to happen. Just like the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are 3 games behind the Chiefs, but they are 4 games due to the fact that the Chiefs beat the Baltimore Ravens by a toe. Yes, by 1 toe. So anyway, so my predictions for this week was not quite as good as I would have liked. I ended up picking the New York Giants, and I really thought that Danny Dimes could come and beat the Carolina Panthers. Well, obviously they can't beat nobody. They can't beat Carolina, and I figured being in Germany, that would be away from the United States, that they could do that. Well, I was wrong. So I went 9-5 this last week. Coach 24, he went 8-6. And Marvin Durant, who does a podcast that I do with him, we actually do it on Sunday nights, but he sends it out on either like Monday or Tuesday, on the record on Spotify. So people go to Spotify and go find On the Record with Marvin Durant, and you can listen to that podcast. It was a really good podcast this week. Actually, I liked the one last week with Jan Hanley because of his friendship with Bill Self, and maybe later in the show, if we have time, I will tell you what's going on with that. So, but anyway, and Max Gershon, who actually came into town this week because he was going to a wedding in California. So he came into town, went golfing with his grandfather, David Gershon, and Willie and myself, and we ended up tying them. Doggone it. We had a shot at beating them, and we ended up tying them. But we had a great time. Max Gershon, which is 102.5 in NWKS in Colby, Kansas. His show is called The Morning Blitz with Ross Volker, and his is an awesome show too. He went 9-5, so he tied me this week, and I am 97 and 55 for the week. Coach 24 is 98 and 54. I am one game behind him, and Marvin Durant moved to the top with his 10-4 record. He moved up to 99 and 53. And then Max Gershon at 9-5 is 86 and 66. So pretty good week. Everybody picked the Rams. Three of us picked the Chicago Bears to beat the New England Patriots. And I'm telling you what, I wore, when I did my prediction show at my house, I wore my New England versus Chicago Bears Super Bowl 20 T-shirt because I'm a big Chicago Bears fan. In fact, 85 Bears are my favorite team of all time. Now, the Chiefs are my favorite team, but the 85 Bears is my favorite team of all time with Jim McMahon and Walter Payton on that team. So Richard Dent, that's who I could not remember his last name for the life of me. Richard Dent was the MVP of Super Bowl 20. So, but anyway, New England sacked Caleb Williams 9 times. You would have thought that the Bears were whooping up on the New England Patriots in that Super Bowl the way New England was sacking Caleb Williams. But saying that, it also shows you, and I've got to get back to the Chiefs real quick, but just saying, Caleb Williams is really needing some help in Chicago because after he started off the season pretty good, they are now 4-6 and under 500. But let's go back to the Chiefs game. So the Chiefs have won different ways of winning games this week. They've won it by a toe. They've won it supposedly by a face mask or a pass interference call to keep drives going. I know people keep talking about how they keep getting the calls and nobody else does. Did anybody watch the game Thursday night and Baltimore Ravens smacking Joe Burrow in the face on that last play on the 2-point conversion? Yeah, well, there was no Chiefs there, I guarantee you that. But anyway, the Chiefs have won the games every way possible. The Chiefs' defense on Sunday against Denver, and I will say Denver played a great game. Denver is still up and coming, but they are going to get better and better. Bo Nix is actually going to be a pretty decent quarterback. I was not sure about him at first, but he has gotten better and better, and I have been impressed with him. But saying that, they got it down the field. They got it ready for a 35-yard field goal. William Lutz, the kicker that used to kick for the New Orleans Saints, that used to kick indoors before he moved to Mile High and kicked in that high altitude, was set to kick a 35-yard field goal. Well, the Chiefs had been preparing for a situation like that. They studied, they prepared, and so when they came up to line up for that field goal, they destroyed the left side of Denver's line, and Leo Chenal ended up blocking the kick. But there could have easily have been two other guys that could have blocked the kick. First, Lutz's kick did not go very high, but at the same time, they got in so quick and so fast that I don't think it would have mattered how high he would have kicked it. And the fact that they blocked it, it was just amazing. That is the fourth kick that was blocked under 35 yards and under since 1994 at the end of a game. It is a rarity that it happens. You have gotten more Hail Marys than you had field goals being blocked. Now, you've had field goals that are missed, but saying that, from 35 yards, the kickers, and I believe since 2003, so roughly 20 years, is at 97%. 97%. They had a better chance of making that field goal than me winning Powerball. Yeah, because my chances are definitely less than 1%. But saying that, it went back to coaching, and nobody complained, but yet Denver fans still found a way to try to say that the officials somehow fixed it for him. Patrick Mahomes has a microphone on him because they do want to keep microphones on certain players, especially usually quarterbacks. Had said something like, "Hey, let me know when players are getting closer." Yeah, he was just being joking, but yet everybody took that seriously. Everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, now he's asking the officials to keep an eye on him." No, he's not. And you guys are ridiculous for even thinking that. But saying that, it shows that good teams find ways to win, and that's due to good coaching. Excuse me. Chicago Bears definitely could use one right now. They ended up firing their offensive coordinator on Monday morning, and I don't know how long it'll be before they fire the head coach of the Bears. Caleb Williams is a good quarterback, but if you don't have good leadership, it is not going to happen. Andy Reid, Brett Veach, Clark Hunt, and all the other coaches, they prepare the Chiefs every week. That is why they win games sometimes when it looks like they should not have won. They probably should not have beaten Denver. I was ready for them to kick the field goal and say, okay, the Chiefs lost 17-16. They are now 8-1. Okay, so, give Denver credit. But the fact is, it didn't happen. And the Chiefs are still 9-0. They are still undefeated. Now, I will say this. I don't think the Chiefs are going to go undefeated. I don't care if they go undefeated. If they do finish the regular season undefeated, then good for them. But I don't think that is what they are looking for. They are looking for the third in a row Super Bowl trophy, the Lombardi trophy. And that's all it is. And as I have said on my prediction show, on Marvin Durant's podcast, and on this show, the Chiefs are one win closer to the three-peat. That's it. It's 1 week at a time. And so this week they play Buffalo. If they beat Buffalo, they will be 3 games and essentially 4 games ahead of Buffalo. So they will be 4 games ahead of Buffalo. They'll be 4 games ahead of Baltimore. They will be 3 games ahead. Oh, no, they'll be 4 games also ahead of Houston. The only team that will be less than 4 games ahead of or behind the Chiefs would be the Pittsburgh Steelers, who play the Baltimore Ravens this weekend. That's going to be a great game. And I feel that the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to beat Baltimore. Pittsburgh has Baltimore's number. They have the defense that is always usually able to control Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, saying this, Derrick Henry did not play for the Baltimore Ravens and any of the other times that Lamar Jackson. I've got Clark Hunt and the Chiefs on my mind. Playing Lamar Jackson, he did not play with Lamar Jackson any of the other times that they played Pittsburgh. So this will be an interesting game. I still think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to beat the Baltimore Ravens, but anyway, so the only team outside of the Chiefs, or the Chiefs that would be close enough with a Chiefs victory this weekend over the Buffalo Bills, is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who right now have 2 losses. If they lose this weekend, it will be 3 losses. So they could have a possibility of being 3 games ahead of everybody in the AFC. And it will take a catastrophic collapse for them to do that. But saying that, the Chiefs are slowly getting everybody back. They have not played, I don't believe, I'm probably outside the first week or maybe the first 2 weeks of the season. They have not played at full strength. If they play at full strength, watch out, because they will be virtually unbeatable. And that three-peat will definitely happen. So Baltimore or Buffalo, but for Buffalo to beat Kansas City, they are going to have to be ball control. That means the defense, Kansas City's defense, will have to stay on the field longer. But saying that, that would mean that Buffalo's defense would have to shut down Patrick Mahomes and that offense. Now, Patrick Mahomes may not have the greatest stats. I mean, he's got 9 interceptions this year, but he has gone the last 2 weeks without turning the ball over. That is key. So if he goes this week without turning the ball over, that will definitely help. I think he needs to throw a couple of downfield passes against them to open it up, and then throw middle passes over the middle and have the running game going again. Once Isaiah Pacheco comes back within the next couple of weeks, you're going to have the 2-headed monster of Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. And that is even going to be better, because what the thing that the Chiefs have done that they didn't do in 2018 and even 2019 is stay on the field longer. They have the winning time of possession this year, especially the last 3 weeks, when they have at least 10 minutes more of time of possession over their opponent. And that is key, because when you are on the field, the offense is on the field performing, then it keeps your defense off the field and it keeps them fresh, and they can perform even better with that. So I'm going to pick, and normally I don't, I will still do my show on Sunday, but saying this, I will say that the Kansas City Chiefs will beat the Buffalo Bills by the score of 27-24. Now, if the Bills, and I will say this, if the Bills do not score 27 points, they're not winning. They're going to have to score more than 27 points, 28 points. they're going to have to knock the Chiefs off that streak of 28 or less points per game since like 2022. So definitely that's the key, and I do have the Kansas City Chiefs winning. Now, saying this, tonight, Coach 24 has the Eagles winning, and so does Marvin Durant. Now, I did not get Max's predictions, even though I did give him the sheet so he could pick teams. So I'll probably get that later. Now, the Eagles versus the Redskins. This is going to be arguably the best game between these two teams since 1996, when both teams were really, they were at their best at that time. Because it's been a long time now. Usually the NFC East usually has the Dallas Cowboys somewhere in there. Well, Dallas is nowhere around there. You've got Washington playing very good ball. You have Philadelphia even playing better ball. You have Jalen Hurts that has only had 2 turnovers in this 6-game winning streak, and those 2 turnovers were last week against the Dallas Cowboys, when he could afford to get turnovers. So, but he cannot afford to do turnovers tonight and expect to beat the Washington Commanders. But saying this, as much as I would like to pick the Washington Commanders to win, I am picking the Philadelphia Eagles with the score of 28-21. No, 24. 28-24. Now, saying this, last week I predicted the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Cincinnati Bengals 38-24, or 38-34. I'll get it right. And they ended up winning 35-34. So I did pretty good. So last week I did good. This week I'm going to do better. I'm going to get the score exactly right. So, but anyway, that's with the NFL. And so we've got college football real quick, because we are going to cut our show a little bit short tonight. We have some things going on that needs to get taken care of. So, and right now, Mr. Walker is not in here for me to end my show. So anyway, you have college football. You had Georgia losing last week to Mississippi, Ole Miss, and you have Army that has continued to win. They are 9-0, and I am loving that. So we are. So Coach or Mr. Walker, DJ Scatter, is back. So we are going to cut out of here. Apologize, but we will be back next week. And with that, I am Brian Kress, the Awesome Voice, with Coach 24 Darwin Penny and DJ Scatter, George Walker. Be awesome, not angry, and you guys have yourself a phenomenal football weekend.